Hello and welcome in, everybody. I'm Aaron St. Dennis, the FF Mad Scientist, and welcome to the Mad Science Lab podcast. Thank you for joining us. We'll be continuing on today with a team-by-team breakdown. Today, it's my thoughts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Dave Heilman. Dave, thanks for joining me. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the invite.
All right. You want to take a second here to tell everyone exactly where they can find you?
Yeah, sportsgamblingpodcast.com or SGPN Fantasy. We have, if you go to YouTube or where we listen to your podcast, SGPN Fantasy.
Sounds good. I believe you were pretty active in the rookie drafts today. Every time I seen a trade or someone trying to make a trade, it was you.
Yeah, in the draft, I just you do your dynasty startups and the picks are in the draft.
Yeah,
it just gets to a point where I'm like, why am I getting this? I'm gonna take a rookie pick. Kind of expected people to want to trade a little bit, but I'm just collecting all the rookies, and that's fine. I didn't get a lot of Devy players, so it's my way of balancing it out.
I'm not going to lie. I've been recording for most of the day. So by the time I seen that somebody was looking to make a trade, because I don't think I have any picks, I have maybe a third rounder. By the time I seen that people were offering trades, they had already made the trade. So I was a bit slow to catch up here, and it cost me some picks. But I don't know in that Devy league. I think I went heavy on the older team in a win now mode with no picks. So probably didn't have much to sell you anyways. All right, let's kick it off here. Transition to the graphic. All right, we are looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Normally, these quarterback rooms are a quick breakdown, but this one is kind of messy. Baker Mayfield is listed as the starter according to ESPN, with Kyle Trask as the backup. I don't like either, and I'm amazed that they didn't take, at very least, a Will Levis or a Hendon Hooker. I honestly cannot figure out who the hell the starter is going to be, or why either of them would, or why they would want either of them as the starter. What's your impression of the quarterback situation here?
Yeah, I mean, they came out today that Bruce Arians said he had Baker Mayfield graded higher than pretty much anybody in this rookie class, and so
Ugh, that's scary.
That's that they're
Gross.
Seem like they're fans of Baker Mayfield. I think Baker wouldn't have signed here without a pretty clear opportunity that he was going to start. There's no indications that Kyle Trask is going to, be anything. They didn't draft him high enough to give much. And, these first-round quarterbacks, especially first overall, you've seen with Sam Darnold, they get multiple cracks at it. And, we'll see. We'll see here. I think Baker probably starts, but I don't know if he has a super long leash. And if they didn't like this quarterback class, maybe this team's looking towards next year.
Yeah,
for their potential QB.
Totally tanking and maybe moving on from Evans and Godwin there and getting some more draft capital. That's a distinct possibility, but that kind of scares me as someone who's drafted a fair amount of the rookie quarterbacks today and yesterday. To say that they had Baker Mayfield graded higher is very scary. I might be in a whole world of trouble, but yeah, I don't know. It's a kind of a crappy situation. Like you said, I expected them to take someone, but it's possible they might just tank and get a Caleb Williams or whoever. Moving on, we have kind of an interesting running back room. Rachaad White, I think, is guaranteed to be the starter. They brought in Chase Edmonds. Keyshawn Vaughn's still there. Vaughn, I don't think has ever really been a thing. I don't think he ever will be. Edmonds can't seem to figure out what the hell he is, if he's good or bad. And Sean Tucker, Patrick Laird is there as well, but I was just disregarding him. But Sean Tucker is someone I was really high on coming into the draft. Then to find out he has that potentially fatal heart issue that they're looking at, I worry. Like, if he ever gets a shot, I think he could carve out a decent role and be good. But with that heart, like the heart issue, I think the rookie draft I just did, he went from a consensus second round pick. He went into the fifth round in this draft. So what do you think about these guys?
Yeah, I mean, Rachaad White's a big winner. My veteran winners and losers article just came out today. And you got to put Rachaad White as a winner, even by adding Sean Tucker and adding Chase Edmonds. neither of those guys got, Edmonds was not a premium, free agency pickup, and Sean Tucker was an undrafted free agent. So they've already come out and said they want White to be a three down back. Does that mean he gets 95% of the snaps? No, but it means he's probably going to get a pretty decent, amount of the touches.
Yeah.
And he's also a pass catcher, and this team expected to be, chasing from behind for quite a bit. So I really like White. Yeah, Tucker's a guy. I mean, I was at the 412 and I posted on Twitter, who should I draft for my last pick? And everybody's like, go get Sean Tucker, go get Sean Tucker. I'm like, he's available. And in mock drafts 2 weeks ago, he was going in the second.
202, yeah.
And so Chase Edmonds, he's a smaller guy, so he's good, but he's never been able to stay healthy. Yeah. And then Keyshawn Vaughn, remember the arguments about Keyshawn Vaughn 4 years ago? I mean, I forget who he was, Player Profile had him comp to somebody really good, and everybody just got hell-bent over it. And it was Keyshawn Vaughn and Darwin Williams are going to be the next greatest thing, and I'm willing to bet my life on it. But Rachaad White's going to be good for fantasy. I have him as a top 20-ish dynasty player, a dynasty running back. So I think he'll be good for fantasy. I don't think he'll be great, but good for fantasy this year.
The Chase Edmonds signing is confusing to me. He seems to be, his specialties are exactly what Rachaad White does, except he does them older and slower and less efficient than Rachaad White. I think that was a total waste. Like I said, I like the Sean Tucker pick, health pending, but this, to me, if Rachaad White is, I expect he's going to continue to go at a decent price. I might own quite a bit of Rachaad White. He just seems like he could really be in store for probably top 15, maybe. Would you say top 20-ish?
Yeah, I got, as far as dynasty, I'm at about top 20. I think for redraft purposes, I haven't done my redraft rankings yet, but he's going to be up there, 15 to 20 range. You got a lot of muddled backfields, and this one seems pretty clear.
Yep. Moving on to an interesting wide receiver room, I guess. I think I took a liberty here. They had Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and I believe Russell Gage. And then the backups, they had Devin Tompkins and Trey Palmer. I love Trey Palmer. I think Trey Palmer steals this wide receiver 3 job away from Russell Gage. And the other two, I don't know if the other two end the season in Tampa. Like you said, if things are going poorly, they might just recoup some draft capital and trade them. But Trey Palmer is someone I think has loads of potential, and he's someone I'm really looking to target. Like I said, though, they had Russell Gage on the chart as the wide receiver 3. What do you think of the wide receiving core here in Tampa?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good group. I mean, even if Palmer and Gage are competing for that third spot, Baker Mayfield pulling the trigger. So I think Mike Evans, he had a really rough season last year. Finished the season okay, but it was rough. I think people forget how bad it was. And Chris Godwin, I think he is the only one that's going to have, some consistent production. You remember Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham, Baker Mayfield closer to the line of scrimmage, throwing towards the middle of the field. He feels more comfortable with that than throwing it deep downfield, and that's where Mike Evans' game is.
Yeah, Godwin was injured the start of 6 weeks last year?
Yeah, he missed a good portion of it, but he came back really strong, had a good finish of the season, and then Mike Evans just went away.
Yeah.
And then he's already inconsistent, very inconsistent. But yeah, Trey Palmer is interesting, very fast player.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so as far as, is he going to be able to garner enough targets for consistent production? We'll have to see. It's tough with the current lineup.
Yeah, Baker seemed content to play a little bit of Ryan Fitzpatrick YOLO ball there in the few starts he made with the Rams. So I'm hoping maybe he'll just say, screw it, he's got nothing to lose, and start chucking it downfield to Palmer. But it's a dart throw. But like I said, it's probably someone I'm going to have a few shares of in best ball or like a Scott Fishbowl format, 20 rounds in. Screw it, let's go Trey Palmer. But moving on, we've got a tight end room that's kind of lackluster. I have a couple of shares of Cade Otton. I thought he looked good in his limited opportunity last year. Looked good as a red zone target. I worry, obviously, that was with Brady. I worry that whoever the new quarterback is may not like him as much. Keefe and Payne Durham as the backups here. Like I said, I don't think Keefe or Durham are really worth rostering. Otten, I'll probably try and get a few shares of, but I don't think he's a tight end one. Kind of a streamer tight end. What are your thoughts on this bunch of misfits?
Yeah, it's a rough group. And like I said, huge quarterback downgrade going from Brady to Baker. Payne Durham was one. It was a very good tight end class, so he got buried a little bit because of how good the class was.
He
Would
was
have been
Purdue,
much,
right?
yeah,
Purdue.
he would have been much higher on the board if you look at like
Yeah.
if you were to go and say this last year's class, he would have been maybe fourth or
for
fifth.
sure.
And so, but Cade Otton, him and Cade Otton will be, similar. Cade Otton looked all right. I don't think he's going to be someone you're targeting in your redraft leagues, but in Dynasty, he's a stash. And if you can get him right now for nothing for a 4th round pick, it might be worth a shot, especially if you're, got older tight ends. You're just looking for some dart throws.
Yeah. I think I have him on a couple of taxi squads, and I'm going to hold on and see where it goes. I know it's early, so I've been going off of best ball ADP, which I don't have handy, but that's normally a pretty good indication for at least the first 5 or 6 rounds of what redraft will eventually be. Based on where you expect them to land eventually in drafts, who do you think you'd be likely to target off of this team?
Chris Godwin, Rachaad White if the price is right, but in your super flex leagues, he's going around the 5th or 6th round, and in your single quarterbacks going the 4th round, and it just might be a little bit pricey for me. We'll see. I mean, and they could always do something crazy and bring Fournette back or something like that, and really
I never
throw a
even
wrench into our
considered that.
plans.
Oh God,
But
that's terrible.
yeah. I mean, something to consider. There's 3 running backs out there that aren't going to go and steal anybody's job, but they could go in and be a thorn in somebody's side, and that's Kareem Hunt, Ezekiel Elliott, and Leonard Fournette.
Hunt's the one I forgot.
And the formula for the compensatory picks closed. So anyone, if they add somebody, it's not going to affect their compensatory picks, which is, something that everyone likes.
Oh, I forgot. That's a total buzzkill, Dave. I forgot those 3 guys were out there. You're celebrating all the Damian Pierce and Tony Pollard shares. There's still 3 hand grenades waiting out there just to blow someone's value up, hey? I completely forgot those guys were even out there. Although I've heard that Zeke might, I don't know how we got on the Cowboys, but Zeke might be going back to Dallas is what I heard, but
yeah.
we'll see.
They got Ronald Jones and Malik Davis right now. So, it could be Zeke.
Yeah. All right. On the other side here, who's someone you think you'd like to avoid? Mike Evans, probably.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the name value, so he's still going to have a pretty decent, ADP. It's going to be really hard to trust Mike Evans with Baker Mayfield. And I fell for it last year, and I'm not going to do it again.
I see 3 potential late round dart throw sleepers here in Otten, Palmer, and Tucker. Anybody here, any of those 3 or anyone else in general on this roster, pique your interest as a potential late round sleeper?
To be honest, not really.
No.
Not really. I mean, like I said, Tucker in your rookie drafts where he's like late. Yeah, let's take a shot.
410, you said?
What was that?
You said in your draft you had the choice to take him at 410?
Yeah, 412.
412.
It was Lord. Like let him go undrafted or take him. And where I was looking at it where I'm at now, and I was trying to see where Trey Palmer went, because I honestly think Trey Palmer might still be on the board if you want to trade for my pick after this.
I'm trying to bring – you're on the clock in Devy. Yeah, I'm trying to look at that Devy league we're in right now to see – Sean Tucker went, what is that, the 401? And Trey Palmer, I think Trey Palmer's still on the board.
Yeah, he's still on the board.
Yeah, but so yeah, you got, somebody got him at the 401. So that's, he's definitely slipping. I don't know if he's going to have any value, but at that price, I guess you can't go wrong. So.
Yeah, with that, he can easily leapfrog and get up into that Rachaad, be Rachaad White's backup pretty soon.
All right. Last year, these guys were the 4 seed in the NFC, going 8-9. Where do you see them finishing in their division and the 8 wins? Over, under, or the same?
Under.
Under, and I assume 4th in the division.
Yeah, I mean, they were 8-9 last
Yeah.
year, won the division, and they had Tom Brady, and Tom Brady just retired. And yeah, the Carolina Panthers, they were the number 1 pick, and they got Bryce Young. They're not expected to win a ton of games. The Saints, they got Derek Carr, not expected to win a ton of games. So, there's going to be a competitive division. You got Desmond Ritter over there with the NFL. It's a pretty nasty, ugly division.
I think the Panthers, who aren't expected to win a lot of games, might win the division.
They could. I mean, there's a way for that to happen. So we'll see. I think that everyone's division is going to be in that 4 to 8 win range, and we'll just see who gets up there. I mean, I just don't think you're going to see a team, maybe New Orleans, get above 500. It's just a really bad division.
We've seen a 7-9 team make the playoffs. Is it mathematically possible for a 6-11 team to do it, or a 7-10 team?
If they win the division.
But that's what I mean. I'm trying to run through the math in my head and think, because they've got to win at least a couple of the games. It's possible.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to get some wins within the division. I don't think they're going to beat many people outside of it.
No. You go 3 or 4-2 in your own division, and you might make it at 6-10. That's just disgusting. This division sucks.
Yeah. I mean, as far as a draft, this is not an exciting fantasy draft for anybody. If you're a Bucs fan, you just gotta trust the process here. They got interior and on offensive line and defensive line with their first 2 picks. If you can get a least sexy draft, that's it. And, their first round pick, Elijah Cansey, he's more of, he's a pass rusher from the interior. I don't think he's going to be a 3-down player. And then they got Vita Vea, who's not a 3-down player. So those guys are kind of interchangeable. And I know it's a Tampa 2, and you're going to have the pass rush causes the coverage.
Yeah.
But, man, to have that be your first pick when you had all of the receivers on the board, some really good edge rushers and corners on the board, that had to be that was a little frustrating. And then Cody Mount, I like that pick. I like Cody Mount, the toothless wonder. And going to play guard, right tackle, whatever you want to do.
North Dakota State, was it?
Yeah, fun dude. They got a linebacker, Servassier, out of Pittsburgh. Fun player. I think he's a good player. I mean, they had a good draft. Everyone's giving the Bucs A on their grade, and I think it was a really solid grade. You just didn't see like those premium positions where you got a premium edge rusher, you got a premium tackle, got a quarterback. I'm a Hendon Hooker guy, so I would have liked Hendon Hooker to go here. He didn't. I think it would have been fun, but we'll see. They got Daniel Jeremiah's boy Jose Ramirez in the 6th round as an edge rusher out of Eastern Michigan. So we'll see.
That's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bleak year in the NFC South, and these guys might be the worst of a terrible division. So we'll see. All right, Dave. Well, thanks for joining me. Want to take one more shot here to tell everyone where they can find your work?
Yeah, sportsgamblingpodcast.com. You can check us out, SGPN Fantasy Football, on YouTube or on wherever you listen to your podcast. We're doing a mock draft right now, so I'm doing some short videos. Got videos 1 through 4 up. I'm going to do pick 5 in like 2 minutes.
All righty. Well, that concludes my thoughts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Dave Heilman. I am Aaron St. Dennis, the FF Mad Scientist, and this has been the Mad Science Lab podcast. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks for joining me, Dave.
No problem.